Good morning, dear students. We are discussing our NCERT exercise. We have discussed 7 questions of our NCERT exercise. Now, today we will discuss from question number 8. Now, you can see question number 8 asks about how does a solenoid behave like a magnet? Can you determine the north and south poles of a current carrying solenoid with the help of a bar magnet? Explain. So first part of this question is this, that how does a solenoid behave like a magnet? You should know one thing. One end of a current carrying solenoid act like a north pole and the other end a south pole. So if a current carrying solenoid is suspended freely by tying a thread in the middle, it will be come to rest pointing in the north and south direction, just like a freely suspended bar magnet. You know about solenoid. This is a shape of solenoid, you can say. This is solenoid. Okay. So in solenoid, you should remember one thing, that one end of this current carrying solenoid, it acts like a north pole. One end acts at a like pole, a north pole, and one ends act like a south pole. You should know this thing. And if this current carrying solenoid is suspended freely by tying a thread in the middle, it will come to rest pointing at the north and south direction, just like bar magnet. So it behaves just like bar magnets. It's a property or it's same like bar magnet. You should know this thing. Always the magnetic field lines moves from north pole to south pole outside the magnet, as we know. And inside the solenoid or inside the magnet, if we have to draw magnetic field lines, it will be from south pole to north pole. Okay. Now, second thing, can you determine the north and south poles of a current carrying solenoid with the help of a bar magnet? Yeah, we can determine the north and south pole of a current carrying solenoid by using a bar magnet. What we have to do, suppose this is a solenoid. Okay. Now we know that it acts as a bar magnet, and the polarity of one side is north and one side is south. So we can know about the polarity of this solenoid by using bar magnet. What we have to do, we bring the bar magnet. As we know, in bar magnet there are two poles, north pole and south pole. We bring north pole of a bar magnet to the solenoid's one end. If the solenoid attract this north pole of the magnet, this north pole of the bar magnet, it means that this side of solenoid act as a south pole, because south pole and north pole attract each other. If when we bring north pole towards the solenoid and the bar magnet is repelled by the solenoid, it means that this part is showing north pole, because north pole repel each other. Got it? When we bring the north pole of a bar magnet near both the ends of freely suspended current carrying solenoid, the end of solenoid which will be repelled by the north pole of the bar magnet and move away from it will be its north pole, and the end of solenoid which will be attracted by the north pole of the bar magnet and move towards it will be its south pole. Got it? We can do this thing by south pole also. If we bring the south pole of a bar magnet, if we bring the south pole, suppose this is a solenoid, if we bring south pole of a bar magnet near the ends of the solenoid, if the end of solenoid which will be repelled by the south pole of bar magnet and move away from it, it will be its south pole. When we bring south pole to the solenoid and we watch that when we bring south pole to the solenoid, then the solenoid or the bar magnet repelled. It means that that end acts as this end is acting as south pole. You should know this thing. Okay. Now next question. When is the force experienced by a current carrying conductor placed in a magnetic field largest? You should remember this thing. When a current carrying conductor is placed in a magnetic field, then current carrying conductor experience a force, and it will be maximum or it will be largest when the current carrying conductor is perpendicular to the direction of magnetic field. You should know this thing. Suppose this is a magnetic field, north pole and south pole, and here is a coil. We have seen such type of things in electric motor also. This is current carrying conductor. This current carrying conductor will experience a force because this current carrying conductor is placed in between magnetic field, and the largest force experienced by that conductor when it is kept perpendicular to the magnetic field. You should know this thing. Okay, you have to remember this point. Now next question. Imagine that you are sitting in a chamber which you are back to one wall. An electron beam moving horizontally from back wall towards the front wall is deflected by a strong magnetic field to your right side. What is the direction of magnetic field? Okay, we have to imagine that we are sitting in a chamber with our back to one wall, and electron beam moving horizontally from back wall towards the front wall is deflected by strong magnetic field to your right side. So what is the direction of magnetic field? We have to find out the direction of magnetic field in this question. We have force applied on the electron beam, and we know about electron beam. If electron beam are moving in this direction, it means that the direction of current is just reverse direction of that. You should know this thing. If we are saying that electrons are moving in this direction, suppose in this direction, I'm talking about that, it means that current is moving in this direction. Okay, current is moving in this direction, and force experiencing in rightwards. It means that force experiencing in rightwards, like that. So we can find magnetic field in this case, because if electron beam are experiencing force, it means that electron beams are in the presence of magnetic field. So we have to find out the direction of magnetic field in this question. We can find out the direction of magnetic field by using Fleming's left hand rule. As we know that Fleming's left hand rule states that if we have two things, direction of force, magnetic field, or in direction of current, if we have two things, we can find out third thing easily by using Fleming left hand rule. So we have to apply Fleming left hand rule in this question. You have to apply Fleming's left hand rule in this question. Okay, you should know this thing. If electron beam is moving this direction, I already told you, then you have to say this thing that electric currents is moving in this direction, because the direction of electric current is just opposite to the direction of electrons. Okay, and in this question we know about the direction of magnetic field, we know about the direction of force, because it is moving then in right direction. Then we have to apply Fleming's left hand rule, and we can get this answer. Now next one, this is about electric motor. Okay, we already discussed about electric motor. I have made a video on that, you can see. Now next thing, some devices in which electric motors are used, we know this thing. Okay, fans, coolers, refrigerators, mixers, grinders, washing machines, water pumps, electric cars. Okay, electric motor converts electrical energy into mechanical energy. There are number of devices in which we can use electric motor. Okay, now next thing, a coil, question number 13. A coil of insulated copper wire is connected to a galvanometer. What will happen if a bar magnet is pushed into the coil held stationary inside the coil, withdraw from inside the coil. You should know the concept of electromagnetic induction for this one. We know about electromagnetic induction. When there is a change in magnetic field in a circuit, then there is a induced current. So in this question, it is asking about the coil of insulated copper wire is connected to a galvanometer. Okay, what will happen if bar magnet, suppose that this is a copper wire, this is connected to galvanometer, and we know about galvanometer, it detects an electric current in a circuit. Okay, it is asking about what will happen if a bar magnet is pushed into the coil. Suppose that we have a bar magnet, and in first case, when we pushed bar magnet in a coil, then we know that we are pushing a bar magnet in a coil. It means that there is a change in the magnetic field of this circuit. It can induce current. So there will be deflection in the galvanometer. Okay. Held stationary inside the coil. Okay. Now in second case, what are we doing? We are doing that this bar magnet we held stationary inside the solenoid. So in this condition, there is no relative motion between bar magnet and solenoid. So there is no change of magnetic field. It means there would be no induced current. So in this condition, galvanometer will not deflect. It will be not deflected, and there will be no induced current. Now third one, withdraw from inside the coil. Suppose that in third condition, it is asking about, this is a solenoid and this is a galvanometer, and there is a bar magnet, and we are withdrawing the bar magnet from solenoid. So in this condition also, there will be change in the magnetic field. There is a change in a magnetic field. Definitely there is a induced current in the circuit, or you can say there is a relative motion between the bar magnet and the coil. So it would then definitely it will induce current, and which we can see in the deflection of galvanometer. So in third condition, there will be deflection of galvanometer. But in three cases, in this question we have three cases. First, pushed into the coil. Second, held stationary inside the coil. Third, withdrawn from inside the coil. In first and third cases, electric current will induced in first case and third case, but in the opposite direction. You should know this thing. Okay, and in second case, there is no induced current. Okay, now we can go through question number 14 now. Two circular coils A and B are placed close to each other. If the current A in the coil is changed, will some current be induced in the coil B? Give reason. Okay, this is also very important question related to electromagnetic induction. These two questions are very important. Question number 13 and question number 14. You have to think about these questions. These questions are really basic of electromagnetic induction. If we understand electromagnetic induction, then we can definitely get answer of these questions. If we do not know about the electromagnetic induction, then we are not able to give answer of these questions. So in this question, it is asking about that there are two coils. Okay, in one coil, if we change the current, it is asking about, will the current will be induced, will some current be induced in the coil B? Answer is yes, definitely current will induced in coil B. Why? Because when in this circuit, when we switch on current in coil A, then it becomes electromagnet. It becomes electromagnet, then it can produce magnetic field. And if we change electric current in this circuit, it means that we are changing magnetic field. And if we are changing magnetic field, then definitely in this coil, induced current will produce. There will be induced current. And induced current will flow in coil B for a moment. Okay. But when the current in coil A becomes steady, it becomes constant, then at that time there will be no induced current in coil B. Okay, the current in the coil B stops. So when we change magnetic field related to any circuit, then there is a current which is called induced current. So in this condition, there are two coils. In one coil, we are producing electric current. We are increasing electric current or we are decreasing an electric current. It means that we are changing magnetic field around this coil. When we flow any current in any circuit, it means that now it becomes electromagnet, and electromagnet can produce magnetic field. If we are changing an electric current, in a circuit, it means that we are changing magnetic field of that coil. And if there is another coil, so definitely there will be change in magnetic field, and which can produce an electric current, which is called induced current. So in this question, answer is yes. When we change the current in coil A, then there is induced current in the coil B. Okay, now question number 15, you can see, state the rule to determine the direction of magnetic field produced around a straight conductor carrying current. We know about Maxwell right hand thumb rule. We already discussed about it. Question number 2, force experienced by a current carrying conductor placed in a magnetic field which is perpendicular in it, Fleming's left hand rule, and current induced in a straight conductor moving in a magnetic field which is Fleming's right hand rule. This second one we have used in electric motor also, and this third one which we have used in electromagnetic induction or AC generator and DC generator. So these are important questions. You have to go through all these questions, and dear students, please go through all the questions. If you are facing any kind of problem to solve, to understand these questions, you can free to ask questions to me. Thank you. Have a nice day.